I'm back and better than ever. What's going on? What is going on? Welcome to the High Dev Perspective podcast. This is season 2. Okay? Season 2, episode 8. Now, I have it as season 2 because I'm in the second season of my life. Everything that I've learned, I feel like season 1 was a time where I was really discovering all of my abilities, all of my the things I needed to let go, and some more shit. Now we're in season 2, and I have stepped into my power. I am living life audaciously. Come on, that's okay. We use the big word there. I'm living life audaciously, authentically, and unapologetically, and I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. So anywho, let's just jump right into it. Again, welcome to the High Dev Perspective podcast. This is your boy Debonair. We are season 2, episode 8. There's a lot to talk about. First and foremost, I want to wish everybody a happy Lionsgate portal. I want to wish everybody a happy retrograde. There's a lot going on with this energy. We've got abundance versus chaos. So it's just which side of the spectrum are you on? The pendulum is swinging left and right. The irony of today's episode, when we last left off, it was in April, and it was in the middle of a retrograde. And here we are 3 months later, and we are in another retrograde. Not only are we in a retrograde, but it is the Lionsgate portal. This episode is coming out on the 8th of August, which happens to be 888, the Lionsgate portal. So there's a lot of synchronicities happening right now, and that's why I say that the energy is just all over the place. It's amplified. I just wanted to recap where we last left off in the last episode. So basically in the last episode, I was going through a lot of discovery of myself. The retrograde was whooping my ass heavily. Like I said, I was learning a lot about myself. There was all these tools and new discoveries that I was learning as far as like the integration of becoming a bad bitch and stepping into my authenticity. Oh, come on now. Stepping into my authenticity. And again, new tools such as the discernment. I was heavily getting my ass kicked by the universe, which I said I was going to allow, and God knows I definitely allowed it. You know, like I said, I was allowing all of this change to happen, and God knows it definitely did. There was a lot of things that I was still discovering about myself and understanding about myself, and I felt like there was this, integration that, was necessary for my growth. So let me just put you up to speed as to what's been going on in my life since we last left off. I had my birthday in June. I turned 38. Yeah, I'm 38. And sometimes I literally question, like, bro, I'm so fucking youthful. It is sick. It is so sick. Sometimes I feel like I'm just like 25. Literally, I kid you not. I genuinely feel 25. It's cute too because I get a lot of compliments. They're like, you don't act your age. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean anymore, to be honest with you, because at this point I'm just existing, and like I said, I'm living this experience. But again, yeah, I turned 38 in June, and I had got an invitation to venture off over to the East Coast. Which happens to be on my vision board, which is really nice. And so I went out to New Jersey and I went out to New York for a while. It was really nice. I did a lot of sightseeing. I really wanted to experience the Brooklyn Bridge. Do not ask me why. Don't ask me why. Okay, I remember why. So I remember when I was watching Making the Band like years ago. And you remember when Diddy made all of them go get the cheesecake? and they had to walk the Brooklyn Bridge to get the cheesecake. That memory is embedded in my psyche. And I remember I gotta go to this bridge. I gotta go to this bridge. I need to experience this bridge. Because the bridge just looked everlasting. Like it just didn't want to stop, right? So bitch, I get on that bridge, and when I tell you, I was like, this is exactly what I thought it would be. It was long. It took me about maybe 45 minutes to an hour to get through, but I was also stopping and taking multiple photos, and there was a lot of people on this bridge. I went like what? During a busy time, it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But anywho, I experienced the Brooklyn Bridge. I experienced Dumbo. I went up and down New York basically. I didn't go, I saw what is it? I experienced Central Park. I saw some of the beautiful towers. When I say towers, I mean like, the large apartments that they have or whatever. That was super nice. Fun fact about me, I like to watch house tours on YouTube, like the POV. And some of the house tours that I had seen were some of the houses, the New York apartments. And so it was really nice to actually see them up close and personal. I was like, oh, I've toured that, like I'm looking up at the actual building. I'm like, I've been in there. I've been on like, what is it? The 655th floor. I mean, it's not that tall, but anywho, and I must say, if you haven't been to New York, let me just put you up to speed. It's not complicated like I thought it was. Like I had these preconceived notions that I'm about to be lost. I don't know how to get around. You know what I mean? And I'm the type of person, I consider myself a wanderlust. So, and basically, I just like to throw me in and just let me figure it out. I will figure it out, right? So I remember like the first day when I went and I had time to finally go sightsee, I had walked up to a person who was on the street and I was like, hey, I'm just curious, I'm looking to, travel and look around New York. What's the app that you guys are using, to get you from point A to point A to point B? Sorry, that's my dyslexia kicking in. What is the app that gets you from point A to point B? And they were like, oh, we just use Google Maps. I was like, oh, okay. But like, what do you get, like, what's the app to use, like the subway, because I want to experience riding on the subway by myself. And she was like, yeah, we use Google Maps. I was like, oh, okay. So like, here I am. And I didn't have Google Maps. I don't use Google Maps. I have an iPhone, but I use Apple Maps for everything. And so I ended up downloading the app, and oddly enough, I mean, the shit works. It works. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is if you ever decide to go to New York, don't have that thought that you're going to get lost and you're not going to be able to find your way. It is easy as 1, 2, 3. Literally. And you don't really need the Google Maps, because I was like, okay, wait, if this is Google Maps, then Apple Maps is damn near the same thing. So let me just use my Apple Maps. Man, I typed in my destination. It got me from exactly where I needed to go to exactly where I needed to go. Literally. And it's curated to the point where it says walk, this amount of blocks, and then you're gonna get on, I don't remember the trains. Let's just say the A. No, let's just say the 6. Jump on the 6, and you're gonna take the 6 all the way up to, give me something, Times Square. And bam, you're at Times Square. So I was just like, yo, this is really, really easy. And so, I'm a West Coast guy. I've been out here on the West Coast for 11 years. So it's like, I know my way up and down, Los Angeles and every city that, every pocket that we have. And I was trying to do the same for New York. In my mind, I just wanted to be a native New Yorker. You're a native New Yorker. I wanted to really just be a native New Yorker and experience life how they experience life. And that's part of me being a wanderlust, is when I go to different spaces in different cities and different countries, I kind of put whatever I've got going on in my actual world. So like I let go of everything in LA, and I wanted to experience life exactly how they would do it in New York. And that's just a thrill. And that's just something that I've always done. Like, I've been to a couple of countries, um, London, Paris, Amsterdam, Iceland. And I did the same thing when I was out there. I was like, I'm going to let go of my experience out here in LA, and I'm going to be one with the Parisians. I'm going to be one with the Amsterdanians. That's definitely not what they're called, but you know what I mean? Like, I was just trying to be one with each specific country and their culture and their vibe and how they operate. So in all, like I said, if you're somebody like me who has not gone to New York and you have this whole thing that you're going to get nervous and you're going to get lost in the subways, you're not. You're not. Literally, if you got an iPhone, you're fine. You're going to be completely fine. But anywho, so I did that. I went to, like I said, I was out there for a while. And one of the best parts about my experience out on the East Coast was the plethora of signs and synchronicities that I had received. And they came in, very clear. Essentially, they were basically letting me know, and this is the divine, this is the universe, this is my guides, everybody telling me. They were basically telling me, bro, you're done. You're good. You're healed. There's not really much more healing that you need to do. Like, go pop your shit. And literally, when I got that moment to go pop my shit, I did exactly that. It happened to be gay pride, that week, toward the weekend that I was getting ready to leave. And so I went to one of the gay events. Come on, gay events, not gay events. I'm gay as hell. I went to one of the pride events, and it was fun because that was my first time going to the club in about a year. Keep in mind, when I said I did my isolation back in season 1, I did isolation for about a smooth year, and I'm now in a space where I'm like venturing out and doing all these things that I used to do, but I'm doing it more with discernment now, if that makes any sense. And it's nice. So I don't necessarily have to like let things go. I can still appreciate certain things, but like I said, I have a different level of awareness in how I operate now moving forward. So yeah, that was kind of cool. I did one of those events. It was nice or whatever. And yeah, it was really rewarding too, because I just got that. I mean, it's channeling isn't the word. It was just pure confirmation that all the healing, all the work that you've done in the past year has paid off. There's nothing else that you can talk about as far as like anything, because I'm not experiencing anything anymore. Now it's just like, it's something that I experience. If it's like a hardship, I'm just like, all right, well, okay, cool. Well, this is what I need to do to move forward from it. It's not that I need to sit in isolation or I need to go do shadow work or anything like that. No, of course that will come in when it needs to come in. But right now I'm just popping my shit. Dead ass. I'm popping my shit. I'm having fun. I've been going out a lot lately. I'm back here in LA. I've been, doing the beach, just having fun, just experiencing life finally. And when I said, like in season 1, I said I was going to be outside. I've been outside, like I've literally genuinely been outside, and it's been really rewarding. What I've learned about myself now is I can still do these things that I used to do before I went into isolation, but I also have tools that I implement that I've also learned within isolation. And the tools that I have is obviously the self-awareness, and this high level of self-worth. And I think that's something that I didn't have in the beginning, because now I'm in a space where like, I am popping my shit. And when I say popping my shit, I mean, I'm really just stepping out and really having fun, but I'm also doing it with this high level of discernment, So it's like, I mean, first off, that was a channel that I got from Spirit to go pop your shit. It was literally pop your shit. But it's just like I said, I'm out here and I can still do these things, but I have discernment now, and there's I can do it in moderation. Obviously, it's not anything bad, but like, if I decide I want to go have fun and go to a club and go dancing, I can do that now. I still don't drink, so there's that, that balance, and I don't need alcohol to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can genuinely just have my energy drink and call it a night. So it's these things. It's the self awareness that I've discovered, or that I've this ability of self awareness, this high level of self worth that I have for myself, and you know, with that, it's the work that I've done internally. And now that work that I've done internally, it's a reflection of my external. And that's why I always talk about doing the healing journey, because whatever you do on the inside will reflect how your reality will be on the outside. And lastly, boundaries. Like, I have boundaries now. I didn't have boundaries then. I didn't even know what boundaries were. And it's odd too, you guys. It's odd because it's like, these are things and key components that most people are aware of. But like I said in a previous video, I'm a late bloomer when it comes to a lot of things, and that's okay, because that's how I was designed. I was designed to understand boundaries now. I'm thankful that I understand boundaries now, because now I have this broad awareness of what boundaries look like. So, self awareness, self worth, boundaries, and discernment. These are things that I now implement through my day to day practice and just my day to day normally, as I'm moving and operating through this world. Fully aware that life has its ups and downs. There's parents out there, there's singles, there's relationships, there's all these things that make up a human design. But the one thing that always needs to be taken care of is self. And sometimes you don't have that time to just honor yourself. Hell, sometimes you just forget. I've been using the Aura IO app for about maybe 4 months now. And for me, I consider it like the hub of self. It basically has everything that you need, from meditation to testimonies of people who, just like us, have experienced trying to find self. When I first started using it, I started using it because I was looking for more of a different techniques to connect through my meditations. And what I love about the Aura IO app is it got me to a place where I've curated my own style that works for me. If this is something that you're interested in, I strongly recommend using this Aura IO app, because it, like I said, is not only just a mecca and a hub for self-help, but it really does allow you to connect to yourself in ways that you never thought that you could do before. If you're interested, Aura.io offers a 7-day trial period. And if you're passionate about the app, you can use my discount code, which is my name, Devonair Mathis, and you're able to save 25% off your subscription. Start your journey toward a healthier, happier you. And now let's get into today's episode. I titled this episode The New Balance of Ebb and Flow, because do you remember your first spiritual awakening? Okay, maybe not your first spiritual awakening, because I know for me, mine was a heavy experience, but the ones that you have, because we continuously awaken, because we do that. But toward the ones that you are aware that you're having the actual awakening, remember how your highs were so damn high? Like, you felt like you were on cloud nine and everything was glitter, rainbow, and Skittles. Like, for real. Like, you just had this broad awareness of life, and you just seen the world so differently, right? And then the merge happens, and where they talk about the 3D and the 5D, and you feel like you're just on 5D and you're floating in 5D, and like nothing can bring you down, right? Well, for me, I had that experience, with my awakenings, especially while I was doing my healing journey. Each time I discovered something new, I awoken. I had this big aha moment, this big epiphany, and whatnot, and it opened up my consciousness broader and broader and broader to the point where, like, I was literally floating. And I felt like there was this divide between myself, because I consider myself chilling on 5D, and, like, whoever hasn't done the work, they were experiencing the 3D. So, like, there was this divide in my eyes. And so what ended up happening is, between my time in New York and when I got back to Los Angeles, things just kind of went down. And when I say they went down, it was like I wasn't floating. So keep in mind, like I said, when I was in New York, that's when I got my channel message. And now I no longer receive channel. I do receive them. Let me rephrase that. I receive channel messages for other people, but now I'm in a space where I'm receiving them a lot for myself. And I love that. I would rather have them for myself anyway, because I'm not called to be a psychic, or I'm not called to be a medium for other people. If anything, I'm called to be a medium for myself, to listen to myself, honor myself, value myself, and trust myself, right? So when I got back to Los Angeles, that high that I was experiencing was like slowly coming down. And when I tell you it was coming down, it was coming down. Each day it was getting lower and lower and lower. And I started to get paranoid. I was like, oh shit, here we go. Here we go. I'm about to lose all this momentum and all of this 5D energy that I've worked hard for. I was telling my homegirl Jasmine, shout outs to Jasmine, because she's my other half. She's literally the other brain. I'm gonna bring her on the show eventually, for sure this season. I was telling her, I was like, remember, like, when everything was just so glitter and rainbows and Skittles, where, like, we were just literally just floating, right? Just floating, and messages were coming through left and right, and you were just understanding things just immediately. And, like, when shit hits the fan, you could pinpoint it in that moment. Now, it's like, I get that, but what ended up happening was universe, spirit, the divine, I should say, had to they had to merge me. They had to merge me between my 5D mind, but living in a 3-dimensional world. And so, peep it. This is why I call it ebb and flow. So what a flow looks like. Okay, so you know what an ocean looks like, and you know what the waves look like. They flow. They go up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, where I'm at, in between, if you put a line right through the middle of a wave, you have your highs and then you have your lows. It's essentially like a coin of duality. So your highs, which are the 5D, and your lows, which is the 3D. So it's just a combination of staying in the middle. That's why I said put a line right through the middle. Staying in the balance of the ebb and flow. This is the only way that I could explain it to myself. So I'm sharing this with you, hoping that you'll understand how I see it, because I see the world differently. So the ebb and flow is where I'm at now, where I'm merged between having this 5D whatever consciousness, but also operating in a 3-dimensional reality. And before, I wasn't doing that. I was just in the 5D, coasting in the 5D, living in the 5D. Like, I felt like I was, hopping and skipping on clouds all damn day. When in reality now, I got real life bills. You know what I'm saying? I got real life responsibilities. I say responsibilities. I got that off Rugrats. I have real life responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm an adult and I need to function like an adult. And prior to that, when I had, this 5D consciousness, it's not that I was letting those things go. It wasn't a priority. But now it's like, all right, what spirit and the divine were doing was, okay, cool. We've given you this consciousness, you know what I'm saying? But like, you need to operate in reality now. Like, what you truly see. Yes, the veil is off, but like, you still live in a three-dimensional world. So you need to operate like a three-dimensional person. So it was really interesting because I noticed that as you go through your journey of, awakening, there comes a point where it's like, yeah, it gets even higher and higher and higher. That enlightenment, the whole stages of like the frequencies and how they get higher. The only one I still remember was enlightenment. I know it gets, higher and higher after that. But my point is the balance between the two. And I feel as though I'm in that state right now where it's just a balance of having this consciousness and having this high level and this awareness, but still navigating through the world appropriately and not letting things go and not letting things slide prior. And it wasn't the fact that I was letting things slide, but it just wasn't a priority for me then. Whereas now it's like, all right, we gotta get you back. You still got things to do. The 888 Lionsgate portal is open. This happens to be one of many, but one of my favorite times of the year. What is the 888 Lionsgate portal? Sirius, the star, is in alignment with Leo. And what typically happens around this time is it causes a lot of illumination. And basically what that is before I even go into it, let me just say this too. The portal did not open on 8/8. The portal has already been open. This bitch has been open since the 25th, 26th of July. Okay? Like the door was just, creaking open at that time. And it is going to slowly close too. So it's not, once the third or the ninth hits, it's going to be, it's going to close. No, you still got time. But really in this moment, there's a lot of illumination. I've got my notes here because I want to make sure that I got everything correct. There's going to be so much enthusiasm. Excuse me. That's my dyslexia, by the way. There's going to be so much enthusiasm you're going to experience around this time. And there's going to be a lot of expansion. You might have downloads. You may not want to call them downloads. People call them ideas. I like to call them downloads, whatever the case may be. But there's going to be this moment, between the 26th and like, let's say the 21st, 22nd, where you're just going to have a lot of ideas. Okay? This is gold. These are things that you need to be writing down. I'm serious. These are things that you need to be writing down because these are things that are going to help better yourself. They didn't just come out of thin air, okay? They came from a divine. They came from a higher realm. So these are things that you really want to pay attention to. Last year, I was gung-ho about the 8/8 portal, and I received so much clarity then. I'm already receiving clarity and downloads now. Hence is why I'm, back into not only just popping my shit, but I'm standing on business now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm standing on business on a different level. But there's going to be a time, there's a lot of clarity is going to come up, a lot of ideas. There's going to be a lot of moments, things that you had put away that you want to probably pick back up. Do it. Do it. There's a reason why it's coming back. It didn't just come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So like, let's say you wanted to pick up playing the violin. If you thought about that 4 or 5 years ago and then all of a sudden it just magically comes back up that you want to play the violin, sweetheart, your higher self is trying to tell you something. So listen to these moments, or listen to yourself in this moment. Your intuition is going to be so heightened. And if you don't think that you have intuition, you do, okay? We have a balance between masculine and feminine energies. So this is part of the creativity and the abundant of flow that you're supposed to be receiving during this time. So it's one of those things where you need to act upon it. You may ask yourself in these moments, why is this coming up? Don't even ask yourself, just give it a shot. Give yourself the shot to even just try it and see what happens. Figure out what the outcome is after that, you know? So it's a powerful time. It's a really powerful time. I love it. It's hot as hell out here too. So I've been in the sun, you know, catching some of these downloads and the sun rays. But yeah, this is a beautiful time to really pick up what it is that you've put down or you haven't thought about in the past and revisit it. Let me see what else is there that I had written down. Oh, okay. Basically, your truest self is going to come out, you know, and let go of the fear, let go of the doubt, let go of, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. No, you actually are supposed to be doing it. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. This is you honoring yourself. This is you listening to yourself. Okay? So, yeah. This is, what I write. You become more powerful. You become more confident. You become more of your powerful self. This is a time where your mind becomes much more clear. So just listen. Listen. Try not to be distracted by outside noise around this time. Really just kind of focus and own in on you. Because like a lot of ideas and stuff are going to just come. They'll slide in, they'll process, and then they're going to leave. But you don't want them to leave. You want to actually process and actually, execute. So, yeah, please focus on this. This is a beautiful time. Like I said, I love the 88 Lionsgate portal. 888 Lionsgate portal. And this one's different too because I'm really big on numerology. If you put 2024, the year 2024, if you add the numbers together, that equals 8. This is the 8th year. This is an abundant year. So it's August, which happens to be 8 on the 8th day on the 8th year. So 888. Come on now. Don't play with it. Do not play with it. This is a time to really own in and take full advantage of this. So I can't stress it enough because I'm really passionate about it and there's a lot of clarity that comes into it. And if you haven't done the work, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up. There's always stuff that you can do. Just take care of yourself. Take care of your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, and take care of your shadow. And just kind of focus in on you. This is a perfect time to just really put yourself first. Something I always say, but it's the God honest truth. And you came into this world by yourself and you're going to leave this world by yourself. You know what I'm saying? The world's already hard enough on you. Don't be hard enough on yourself. Take care of yourself. Treat yourself right. Honor yourself. So, that's all I got on this 888 portal because I don't play with it and neither should you. Okay, well, that wraps up today's episode. I just wanted to pop on here, say hello, let you know that I'm here, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm popping my shit. I am present. I am excited for the rest of season 2. I have a lot of ideas in store for you guys. I'm going to talk about, on the next episode, I'm going to talk about spiritual warfare and all the shit that I went through. So that's going to be a really interesting episode. So please stay tuned for that one. If you enjoyed what you've heard, please consider subscribing or following me on your favorite podcast platform. If you really loved it, please leave me a review because it helps me reach more listeners like you. That rhymed. The hell. Reach out to me on social media, and that is TheHighDevPerspective, and that's on Instagram. And let me know your thoughts on today's episode. Lastly, if you have a topic that you want me to cover, or you want a question that you want me to answer on the show, shoot me an email at TheHighDevPerspective@gmail.com, and I might feature your question on an upcoming episode. All right. That's it, y'all. Thank you so much. Again, please stay tuned for next week's episode. I'm going to be talking about spiritual warfare. Shit's going to get crazy, so buckle up. Other than that, stay inspired and stay creative and continue to be awesome. Okay? I love you. Peace.